Good day, brothers and sisters. This is your brother Rams here, and as always, I'm glad to be. I'm happy to be back and be able to speak to all my supporters on the airways. We got some hot stuff to talk about today, but of course, I'm starting first with some events. But then, of course, the root of this is Black history because we need Black history more than ever now, especially in light of what we've seen that has transpired over the earth over the last few days here. So I just want to say again, thank you to all my supporters. May God bless you and may God keep you safe. And again, I thank you for all your support. But let's get right into the political sauce right now. First thing I want to talk about, first thing I want to say is kudos to my brother Al Green. Al Green, he's a representative from Texas. I love my brother. You know what I'm saying? Because he's a warrior. And I love black warriors, black men standing up. His my sister is there too, running for senator, Jasmine Crockett. Support him and support her. They're warriors, black folks. They're true warriors. They don't take no guff and no stuff. And he was in there and he held up a sign that says that at the State of the Union by Donald Trump, and that black people aren't apes. Remember that when the Obamas had a picture of the Obamas as apes? Okay. And Al Green said, "No, we're not." And I said, "There you go, brother. Stand up." And then the white supremacists tried to take the sign from him. I saw him come up there. Several of them tried to snatch it out of his hands. But he held strong. My brother held strong. I love him for that. Brother Al, you keep doing your thing down there, baby. God is with you. Those devils can't stop you, baby. You got the true message of God. The black man ain't the ape. He's the original man. And you keep fighting along with my sister Jasmine Crockett. Support them because they're in a state where nothing but demons. And they trying to fight what seems against all the odds. But remember, in the Bible, David and Goliath. Remember? So it may seem that Goliath is going to win, but God is great. So I just want to start off with kudos to my brother Al. And I just want to say thank you and keep fighting those demons. Because I'll tell you, those are real demons down there you got in Texas. And that ain't no stage joke, as my daddy used to say. All right? Uh, and I want to say this to all the Epstein victims out there. You know, I want you young ladies to keep fighting and never ever give up, baby. You keep fighting because your dignity's on the line. You were taken advantage of by these rich white men and abused, and you want justice, and you deserve justice, young sisters who are now grown women now, but were just teenagers back then. And oh yeah, I just want to say they just had Hillary Clinton and Bill Clinton up there giving depositions in Congress. They were subpoenaed to come give depositions, and Hillary said, "I didn't know nothing about Jeffrey Epstein. No, never met him, never did anything with him." And she was in there. They were grilling her for 7 hours. And at the end, she was frustrated, very frustrated, because it didn't make sense because she had nothing to do, never even met the man. Never been to his island, never been to his home, never been to anything. So I just want to say that, brothers and sisters, Hillary Clinton said no. But now who should be really interviewed? You've seen this picture. You've seen it over and over again. Donald Trump, Melania, Epstein, and Ghislaine. You've seen them all, the four of them. Why don't you interview her? Why don't you have her give a deposition? Because a deposition's under oath. You lie there, you go to jail. You lie there, you'll go to jail for perjury. One of them rappers, what was it now? I think it was Little Kim or one of them, went to jail because she lied to the FBI giving a deposition. And she went to jail. So when you lie giving a deposition, you go to jail. So who should be called before Congress? Should Melania be called? It makes more sense. There's the picture up there. Up there. And the $1,000,000 questions is this. Did Trump introduce Melania to Epstein? Or did Epstein introduce Melania to Trump? Because remember, they both like young women. So which way did it go? Be nice to see what would happen. Oh, you know they ain't going to put Trump on there because in the deposition, if you lie, you go to jail. And he can't help it because he's a pathological liar. Remember, I always said to you, all convicted felons are liars, but not all liars are convicted felons. Keep that under your hat, brothers and sisters. All right? I just wanted to say that to you all. But again, to those victims of the Epstein foolishness, I ask you to never give up. Don't you dare give up. You fight them till you're 80 years old if you have to. All right? But let's go further on to this war that Donald Trump has started. It was all a ploy, brothers and sisters. Iran wasn't no threat to the United States. Did you see Iran threatening us? You didn't. The war was started to distract the country from the Epstein files. See, as soon as they get close, he throws another distraction. I'll go to war and get American soldiers killed before I let them see what's really in the files. Because they were saying in the remaining files contains damaging evidence. Damaging evidence against Donald Trump. Can't let those files out. Remember the statement he made about Jeffrey Epstein. He was upset about Jeffrey Epstein when he said this. Think about this. Go back. He said this. He was mad at Jeffrey Epstein because Jeffrey stole one of his girls from Mar-a-Lago. Stole? What does that mean? Stole? That means she was some kind of property. You don't steal another human unless it's slavery. Think about it. He stole one of my girls, and she was a young girl. Look at the picture with Melania and Ghislaine Maxwell and Trump. Look at Melania. Look very young, don't she? Think about that. Those last files had some damaging evidence against Trump. And that's why he can't let them out. Because there's some saying some of them files, he got into some heavy stuff. These are allegations. I'm not yet, but I guarantee you that's why he don't want to let them out. These are just allegations. But the main thing is this. There's something in them files and he can't let you see. All right? And the U.S. Justice Department is a 3-tiered system. They said it's a 2-tiered. No. Brothers and sisters, they got it wrong. It's not a 2-tiered. They're saying the rich and then the poor people. No. It's a little deeper than that, brother. Let your brother Ram fully go to what's the real justice system is about. It's a 3-tiered system. Not 2, rich and poor. No, it goes a little bit deeper than that, brother. Let's look at the top. Who's on tier 1? Tier 1 are rich white men, okay, who are virtually untouchable and above the law. You see how they redacted, double-dacted, sky-dacted, woo-dacted. They redacted all their names out of there, man. Even Donald Trump said, man, I can't release them tapes. It's going to hurt some of my friends. Who are your friends? And on this tier 1 with rich white men, not rich black men, rich white men. That's why America was upset with OJ. Not so much that he did it, because he was acquitted, but because he used the same system that rich white men use to get off. He hired a team of lawyers, 12 lawyers to quote the dream team. Think about it. Kardashian, F. Lee Bailey, Barry Scheck. My main man, Johnny Cochran. If it don't fit, you must have quit. Remember, he had a dream team, and that angered white folks. because he used the same strategy that rich white men use to get off. I'm going to give you another name for all you old heads. Remember this guy? Look him up. Klaus Van Bulow. Killed his wife. He killed her. Shot her up with extra insulin. Did he serve a day in jail? No, he didn't, because he's a rich white man. So he's above the law. Okay? And yeah, he's above the law. As the Epstein victims see. So in the tier 1, rich white man, untouchable basically. They'll do everything to protect a rich white man. Everything. Sucker could be wrong as 2 left shoes. We're not prosecuting him because he's a rich white man. But now there's tier 2. Tier 2, what's that about? That's the average white man. He works. He might have a pretty good job, might be middle class. All right? But he might have some money, he might not. But he can be sent to jail too. He can be sent to jail. The average white guy can be sent to jail. But the reason why he's usually not sent to jail is for this basic reason. He is not sent to jail just like the first tier, because this is a key factor. I want everybody to understand it. Tier 1 and tier 2 are based on the presumption of innocence. Remember? You're innocent until proven guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. So in the first 2 tiers, white people are protected, especially the rich, but then the average guy is protected. So if there's reasonable doubt, you got to acquit them. And all you got to raise is some reasonable doubt, and the average white guy can get off. The rich white guy, you don't even worry. You ain't even going to see no trial. But the average white guy, he can be tried and he can go to jail. But it's based on the presumption of innocence. Okay? Now, brothers and sisters, I'm coming to me and you, the black and the brown. You're on tier 3. What? Yeah, you're on tier 3. What's tier 3? That's for black and brown people. And the presumption is you are presumed to be guilty. You are presumed to be guilty and must prove your innocence beyond a reasonable doubt. If you can't prove you're innocent, then you're guilty. And part of that stems from what? Article 1, Section 2, Clause 3. You're 3/5 of a human. You don't get the same rights. You don't have human rights. You're 3/5, you're 60%. So we automatically, like an animal, you're presumed guilty. If the bear was on trial for breaking in your house, he's automatically guilty. He's guilty because he's not seen as human. So he's guilty. And so aren't you, black and brown man. So you're presumed to be guilty first. And then, if you can prove you're innocent, you escape. You can't, then you're done. All right? Trump's war on Iran. There's 2 major reasons why he's waging war in Iran. You say, why? What's up? Well, you know, their rap is this. Their rap is this. Well, they killed over 30,000 protesters, and he's a threat to democracy, and he sponsored terrorism and all of that. Okay. But 30,000 protesters, I saw on the program on Sunday on, what was it, ABC News with George Stephanopoulos. They had a dude from Iran over there. He said, man, that 30,000 junk propaganda you selling is just that. Our list says about 3,000 and some change. And I doubted the 30,000 because it keeps going up. Because first it was 10, then it was 20, then it was 30. They can't kill all them people like that, man. They would have serious footage of it. I'm not saying Iran's right for it, but what I am saying is this: they have the right to rule their government the way they see fit, just like America does. All right. Again, there's two major reasons why he started this war. He wants to get into a war with Iran to get it to last about 3 years to the end of his term. He wants to still be at war with Iran. What's the point, Brother Ram? And I'm pulling everybody's coat to this. Watch what I'm telling you. This is critical. If we're still at war with Iran when the election comes up in 2028, he can now declare martial law. What does that do, Brother Ram? Martial law immediately cancels all elections. It cancels the elections, and guess who stays to be the president? That's a scheme. You better watch out for it. That's why he wants to be at war. That's why he's a warmonger. So he can stay in power. That's the first reason. So he can stay in power and keep war going. So he can declare martial law, and then now he can stop the 2028 election. The second reason is to deflect America's attention from several things. I'll name them. First thing is, of course, the Epstein file, and that's from them young women that were sexually abused, man. They were sexually abused by these old rich white men. Damn shame. To escape the Epstein files, you know. I want you to understand that. The loss of health care. The loss of health care for American citizens. So many of them are now going without health care. Epstein files, distracted from that. Loss of health care for millions of America. And those who didn't lose it, their premiums them skyrocketed, doubled and tripled. He don't want you talking about that. Inflation, which is still high, and guess what's going to drive it up some more? Now that you shut off the oil, or they shut down some of the oil, the gas price is going to go up. That means inflation's going up. Because remember, America's a gasoline junkie. Can't survive without gasoline. Tariffs. Remember, Supreme Court shut them down? He said, hell with that, I'm going with 10 and 15%. Again, violation of the law. Gas prices are going to rise. Gas prices are going to rise, brothers and sisters. And it's sad, but that's going to be the deal. So he's trying to distract you from that. A while back, I went back and I told you who are the three major mischief makers and bloodshedders on this earth. And I named them Trump, Netanyahu, and Putin. Well, now guess who done hooked up? Two of the three world's mischief makers and bloodshedders. In essence, demons. And who are they? Trump and Netanyahu. Let's see what their collaboration is. Because remember, they're mischief makers and they're quick to shed blood. History bears me fact. That's no defamation. History bears me fact. All right? Both of them are criminals. Trump, 34 counts. Convicted felon. Netanyahu, cited as a war criminal by the ICC. What's the ICC, Brother Ram? It's called the International Criminal Court. And they look into all kind of atrocities during war. Remember Netanyahu starving the people to death? Babies and children. Remember Netanyahu setting up food, a little bit of aid. Then when they come to get the aid, he had his his soldiers shoot and kill him. He was called by the International Criminal Court as a war criminal. So you got two criminals now, two mischief-making criminals in charge. And now the heavy part is because of the militaries. Donald Trump has his finger on one of the most powerful militaries in the world. And he's like a child. He's attacking everybody, brothers and sisters. He's attacking everybody. And so in Netanyahu, they down. They're going to bomb Iran now. All right? They're going to bomb Iran. Hell of a thing. Okay? Now, Netanyahu, he also wants to stay in power. See, they have that in common. They want to stay in power. Okay? By going to war, the Israeli people overall are not satisfied with him. They're not. They're not satisfied with Netanyahu. Okay? And particularly because of the hostage situation that happened in Palestine. He did nothing to bring them home. Some of them died there because he wouldn't move on that. He was more concerned about destroying Palestinians than he was about bringing home the hostages. So if he stays in power, he gets a chance to stay president by going to war. Because during war, they're similar to us. All elections and stuff are off. So they share that thing in common, them two. All right? All right? And that does not have a favorable rating among Israelis. It don't. Not a favorable rating among Israelis. It's terrible. So Netanyahu and Trump underwater. Look at all their polls. In Israel and in the United States, Trump underwater. Netanyahu underwater. So we'll manufacture a war that will keep us in power. And we'll attack Iran. All right? And that when, especially like when it comes to U.S. and Iraqi approval, they're underwater. All right? I call them mischief makers and bloodshedders because this is what they do. They start trouble. They make mischief and then they kill. Make mischief, then they kill. They make mischief, then they kill. These are signs of a demon. And these two are demons. So what's going to happen, Brother Rams? We need Almighty God Allah right now. We need Almighty God Allah, Jehovah, Jesus, whatever you may call him. We need him now, and he's here. Because only he can deal with these three demons. It's too powerful for the average person, baby. Too powerful. Because they've collaborated. Two of the three devils. And even the third one, he's really working with them too. Putin. That's too much power for the average person, baby. Only being that can stop them is God. And he is. He's going to stop them. Watch what I tell you. All you got to do is have faith and patience. Like Habakkuk. Like Habakkuk. All right? But let me give you some of the countries that our president has bombed. Remember, I want the Nobel Peace Prize. I done stopped about 8 wars, and I did this and I did that, telling the damn lie. I ain't stopped nothing. As a matter of fact, he's caused war. You see what happened here in Iran. But let me tell you some of the countries Trump has bombed since he's come into office. Of course, Iran. He's bombed Iraq. He's bombed Syria. He's bombed Yemen. He's bombed Somalia. He's bombed Nigeria. He's bombed, he did boat strikes in Latin America. And of course, he bombed Venezuela. That's who Trump has bombed. These are mischief makers and bloodshedders. That's bloodshed. The people die when you drop bombs. But what about Netanyahu? He's a bloodshedder and a mischief maker. They've bombed Iran. They've bombed Lebanon. They've bombed They bombed Syria. They've bombed Gaza. They've bombed the West Bank. They've bombed Yemen. See, these are warmongers. They're warmongers. They're guilty of starting wars and starting trouble, brothers and sisters. And what I'm going to say to you is this. This war will start the beginning of World War III. Experts said that if World War III started, it would start in the Middle East. Now, there's 11 different countries involved in it. So that's World War. Trump wants World War. He'd rather have World War rather than the Epstein files and all that be released. All right? So what does that lead to now? He bombed Iran, but Iran throwing some missiles and stuff at them too. But what does it lead for us? It lead for us here in America, brothers and sisters. It puts all Americans here in America and throughout the world in danger. Now you can take what I said or let it alone. The Israeli people all around the world, you're not going to be safe nowhere you go. Same with the American people, you're not going to be safe nowhere you go. And in America, there's so many soft targets, it'll make your head spin. And I'm going to refer to a recent incident to show you what could happen here in America. But it's going to increase, right? It's going to increase. In Austin, Texas, this Iranian sympathizer killed 2 people and wounded 14 others before the police shot him dead. Killed 2 people, wounded 14 others before the police shot him dead. And on his shirt, he said, property of Allah. And he also had an Iranian flag emblem. That's just the beginning, brothers and sisters. That's just the beginning. Soft targets. You know what that is? Soft targets, brothers and sisters, like go to the grocery store, go to the movies, go to see a basketball game, go to the airport, go to the train station. America is very vulnerable, and that's what this nitwit Trump has put us all in. Where we now will be terrorized. Because we'll never know when it's coming. Because we already have those sleeper cells here in America. Don't have to, you can put a ban on Iranians and all that, but they're already here in America. We're all in danger because of this nitwit. We're all in danger because of this nitwit. And it's sad. It's sad, brothers. It's sad. But one of the things I want to talk about also during this time, just getting my notes together, brothers and sisters. And this is important. I want to talk about these Uncle Tom Muslim countries that upset your brother Ramsey. I call him Uncle Tom. Don't worry, they got some in theirs too. We got plenty in ours. We got plenty of uncles and aunties in our race, skinning and grinning for Caucasians instead of standing up like Asiatic black men's and women's. I got an acronym for them, especially the black ones. I call them knobs. NAWB. Keep this in your head. Knobs. Instead of calling them uncles and aunties, they're called knobs. What does it stand for, Brother Rams? Negro Apologists for White Bigotry. They always can rationalize white bigotry from our Caucasian brothers and sisters. They rationalize. You see them on the TV show. Turn them on. Disgrace. Up here defending white bigotry. So my Muslim brothers got some uncles and aunties in their religion, in Islam. It's supposed to be Islam. I don't know what they're doing. But let's look at the countries of the Uncle Toms. I'll name them, damn it, because that's what they are. They betraying their own peoples. United Arab Emirates. You see them with the fancy plane and they got the cute little girl and all that, but they're a Muslim country. The next one, Saudi Arabia. All that money. United Arab Emirates, all that money. Qatar, all that money. But yet and still, you see your Muslim brother in Palestine freezing to death, damn it! And you too busy entertaining the damn devil. Qatar, rich. Give the devil a damn plane. $400 million plane. You know how much that could have helped his Palestinian brothers, damn it. Jordan, Iraq. These are the Uncle Toms I'm naming. Bahrain, Kuwait. Kuwait's another rich country. But yet and you see your Palestinian brother begging for water. You see the enemy shooting them down, gunning them down. And you sit up here skinning and grinning. Shame on you. I call it shame because why? Because all of you are celebrating Ramadan. You know what that is. It's the holy month of fasting, prayer, peace, self-reflection. Ramadan Mubarak. But yet and still you fighting among each other. The Quran forbids fighting during this time. But you so-called Muslims, that's what I call you, so-called Muslims, have allowed two demons, Netanyahu and Trump, to divide you. To divide you, brothers and sisters. Brothers and sisters, you pray 5 times a day. Yet, you bow down to Shaitan. Instead of bowing to Allah, you bow down to Shaitan. Brother Ram, you seem fired up. Because I am, because it's Ramadan, and you know better. Instead of trying to appease them two demons, turn and help your brother. Your Muslim brother. Skinning and grinning for them devils. You should have never let them put any base in your damn land. You can't put nothing here. So what does little Iran do now? They start throwing bombs at them, attacking American soldiers at these bases in these countries. That's what they start doing, brothers and sisters. Okay? It's sad. And to all you uncles out there, Uncle Tom like Muslims, you know if you have a problem with your Muslim brother, Islam teaches you to sit down with your brother, to sit down with your Muslim brother and work through it. You work through any disagreements you might have, especially during Ramadan. Shame on you, damn it! You going with the devil say, oh, he's bad, Iran. He killed the protesters. Listen, I'm not for killing innocent lives. I'm not. Don't get that twisted. That's why you sit your brother down and say, brother, that's not right now. They protesting, but there's got to be a different way because you just can't kill because the law says not to kill. Thou shalt not kill. So you're going against the word of Allah. So you got to come up with a better approach to this, brothers and sisters. And you sit down together and you work together, but you use Islam as your guideline for peace. And you do this in the name of Allah. You do this in the name of Allah. And it is in your faith in Allah should give you the strength toward peace, not war. Call on Allah to grant you peace. And you letting them two devils divide you, Muslim against Muslim, knowing that damn thing is wrong as two left shoes. During Ramadan, man, at war, the mischief makers got you fighting each other. It brings tears to my damn heart. You call yourself a Muslim? Almighty God Allah sees all. And the chastisement will come down on you too. What do you say, Muslim, when you greet each other? Let's look at that phrase. You remember what you say? Assalamu alaikum. Assalamu alaikum. What does that mean, brother? It means peace be with you. What's the word? First word? Peace be with you. That's more important, that you have peace, brother. So that means Allah wants you to have peace. He wants you to be peaceful because God is a God of peace. He allows war, but he's a God of peace. And you know that, especially during Ramadan, if you're reading your Quran. He didn't say bomb your brother. He didn't say get in bed with Shaitan and against your brother. You all should be uniting against Shaitan. And Allah will make you victorious. Care about America's guns and all that? Allah make them big guns jam. Allah make the sandstorm come and nothing, no kind of equipment will work. Don't you dare doubt the power of Almighty God Allah, as the Muslims call him, Allah. So remember, God, Almighty God Allah, is a God of peace. He's not a God of war and confusion and chaos. And that's what the two devils are bringing. Netanyahu and Trump, two demons. And you following right with them because you want some little money or something. And then you're stingy. You know you're obligated to give zakat. You throw away millions and billions, and you see your Palestinian brothers starving to death, and you won't offer nothing. Shame on you. Shame on you. How dare you see your Muslim brothers starving, knowing that them demons stole that land from them? It's cold over in Palestine now. It's wintertime. Can you imagine sleeping out in a tent? Still no running water. You look around, all you see is rubble. It's sad, brothers and sisters. It just, like I said, and you call yourself so-called Muslims? Who are you praying to? That's all I'm saying, brothers and sisters. Who are you praying to? Because if you're praying and reading the Quran, it don't say nothing about bomb your brother. It don't say nothing about bomb your brother. Well, your brother shouldn't be bombing us. Look at what I'm telling you. They were attacked. Well, Iran sponsors terrorism. That may be true because they want the demon out of that area. The demon came in and stole some land from the original people who occupied that land. And don't ever forget that. There's a resentment. If I come steal your house, there's a resentment. Ask my Native American brother. And oh yeah, I'm going to say it again because I'm going to say it every podcast. They talk about immigration. Immigration, you can't talk about immigration in America, my Caucasian brothers and sisters. You can't talk about immigration and you don't have the Native American, the indigenous people of North America at the table. How come there's no Native American activists? I keep saying, I'm going to keep saying it. I'm telling you, every Caucasian in America is a descendant of of an immigrant. You can take that a letter alone, but history bears me witness. Oh yeah, there's this objective fact here. J.D. Vance's wife, Donald Trump's wife, both immigrants. And guess what? I'm going to mess up J.D. because he deserves it. His wife is black. Well, she don't call herself black. Of course she don't. Look at her face, though. You got black children. Remember, one drop of blood. Black blood, the children are black. And about to have another one. Of course she don't call herself black. If you came to America, if you could get away with not calling yourself black, you probably would too, because black is hated over here. But let her go down south. Not be with JD and all that. Let her walk around Alabama, Tennessee, Mississippi, Arkansas, Georgia. Let her walk around and want one of them Caucasian brothers and sisters call her a trigger. Especially in the summer when she gets a little extra dark. You both are married to immigrants. So you got the audacity to have a problem with immigrants. Like I said, JD. As a matter of fact, your boy, Nick Fuentes, remember him? He gave JD hell for marrying that black woman. Brother man, she was black. She's from India. She's South African. She's Copper Canadian. She this, she that. She's a black woman. And if you look carefully, your children have more of her features than yours. Your children have more of the mother's features than they do of yours because her genes are genetically dominant over yours. So I'm saying that, brothers and sisters. So these are facts. They're married to immigrants. Melania, immigrant. But now we're going to spin, and now we got to do my favorite topic, and that is black history. Because we got to study, especially now, with a white supremacist in the White House, him trying to obliterate black history from the books. We need it more than ever now, brothers and sisters. We need it more than ever now. And I'm gonna tonight. I'm switching up just a little bit here, just a little. It's still Black History, of course, but I'm gonna now change a little geographically. See, a lot of times you heard me talk about Egypt, Egypt, Egypt. But now I'm going to talk about Nubia. Nubia? What's Nubia? Nubia ain't on the map. Yes, it is. Know what it's called? You know it as Sudan, as the Sudan, but the Sudan wasn't that. That was renamed by the white cartographers. What's a cartographer? Someone who draws maps. The white cartographers drew that up as Sudan. But that was Nubia. It was Nubia. So tonight I'm going to talk about a Nubian queen and a Nubian king because they were interchangeable. And this is how I show they're interchangeable because some who were born in Nubia wound up being Egyptian kings and queens. And some who were born in Egypt wound up being Nubian kings and queens. They were intertwined. They ruled the earth. Nubia and Egypt. You see some of them go around the country. When you see the Nubian exhibit, go to it. I saw it. Enlightening. Enlightening, man. Oh, yeah, they got King Tutankhamun touring the country. As a matter of fact, it's funny because years ago, he was up in Massachusetts at the Museum of Fine Arts, and I took my kids up to see King Tutankhamun exhibit. And I was explaining them, giving them history. And when I was telling them that he was a black man, this, that, and the third, you should have seen the Caucasians look on their face. They couldn't say I was lying. They just were stunned that a black man had knowledge of self. But let me go right now to black kings and queens. In this case, Nubian queen. The first one is called Queen Amener Ameneranus. Queen Ameneranus. Queen Ameneranus. She was born between 60 BCE and 50 BCE. Now, BCE stands for before the Common Era, and that means a non-religious alternative to BC. So instead of it being BC, it's BCE. It's non-religious. See, BC is before Christ. Okay? But Queen Ameneranus, she was born between 60 BCE and 50 BCE. She died around 10 BCE. Queen Ameneranus was renowned candake. She was a candake. Now, what's a candake? Candake is the other name for queen. It's a name for Nubian queen, a candake. Kandake. A candake. That means Nubian queen. So she was renowned candake warrior, queen. Okay? And of the Kush kingdom. And again, I say Kush, that area is known as Sudan now. She reigned from 40 BCE to 10 BCE when she died. She was a warrior queen. Stop right there. She was a warrior queen. That means she could go to battle too. And then when you see my sister Jasmine Crockett, you see all them black women standing up, you better think of these queens. Queen Ameneranus, warrior queen. She was a warrior queen. That means I'll go to war and chop a sucker's head off. I'll go to war and chop a sucker's head off. She commanded armies against the Roman Empire, specifically from 27 BCE to 22 BCE. So they had a little war with the Roman Empire, known for defending her kingdom. Oh, sugar, honey, iced tea. She's known for defending her kingdom. All right? She negotiated a peace treaty. She negotiated a peace treaty? That means she's a politician. politics. Negotiated a peace treaty. You got to be a politician to do that. That's give and take. That's negotiate. She negotiated a peace treaty with the Roman Empire, well, especially with the Roman Emperor Augustus, and buried a bronze statue head of Augustus under a temple to pay homage to Augustus. But she brokered a peace treaty. Oh, yeah, and this is also what she's known for. She's famous for losing an eye. She lost an eye? Cutting and stabbing them demons. That's right. That's just was cutting and stabbing them left and right. Black women. Warrior. Queen. Candake. Queen. Amanirenas. Look it up. Nubian queen. A Candake. Well, I did a Nubian queen. Now I got to do a Nubian king. What's the Nubian king, Brother Rams? His name is King Paigi. King Paigi. His birth not recorded. See, we got history go so far back. Good God Almighty, man. Good God Almighty. Our history go back, and some of it ain't even recorded. His birth wasn't recorded, and he died around circa 715 or 721 BCE. He was the ancient Kushite king. Kush. That was the Kush nation. Kushites. And so wasn't Queen Amanirenas. He founded the 25th dynasty of Egypt. But Brother Ram, you said he was Nubian. Remember what I originally said. Some who were born in Egypt wound up ruling Nubia. And some who were born in Nubia wound up becoming kings and queens in Egypt. The two were intertwined. The two were intertwined because they were two great societies, black societies. Not no olive colored skin, kind of look black. Black. Asiatic black. Founded the 25th dynasty of Egypt. He ruled Egypt, but he was a Cush. He was a Nubian. From 747 BCE to 716 BCE. King Pai. Hell of a brother. Hell of a brother. King Pai. He conquered Egypt, uniting, listen to this, he united the Nile Valley from the Delta to Napata. That's a area in Sudan. It's a city in the Sudan, in Nubia at the time, Napata. But he was known for his piety and devotion to the god Amun. To the god Amun. Okay? Very religious brother. King Pai. He ruled over 30 years, originating from Napata, from the Napata period in the kingdom of Kush. Two names, Queen Amanirenas and King Pai. Nubian king and queen. Look them up, your history. You come from kings and queens, black men and women. Don't you ever forget that. Don't you ever forget that. That's what you come from. Beautiful thing. But now, like I said, when we come across the water, I got black women's and black men's too. Because we powerful throughout our history, brothers and sisters. Throughout our history, we're powerful. And so I'm going to start with, of course, I'm going to start with the women's. Got to start with them. I'm going to give you one right now. Heavy Sister. You've seen her. She was in the movie Hidden Figures. She herself wasn't in, but her characters were portrayed by Taraji P. Henson. And that sister's name is Katherine Johnson. Katherine Johnson. She was born August 26, 1918, in White Sulphur Springs, West Virginia. She died February 24th, 2020. She was 101 years old in Newport News, Virginia. Got family in Newport News. One of her awards she received was the Congressional Gold Medal. Her education, she went to West Virginia State in 1937. West Virginia State in 1937. Hell of a thing. She was a brilliant NASA mathematician and physicist. Oh, Lord. Back then, Brother Ram? Yes. But Brother Ram used to say if they got caught reading, they could get killed. Yeah, but see, she came from a little bit further north. Okay, she came from a little further north. She's a mathematician and a physicist whose precise, listen to the word, precise calculations of orbital mechanics. God, well, Brother Rand, what's that? That's something that a physicist would understand. Orbital mechanics. We're critical. She's an expert in that. We're critical to the success of America's first crewed space flights, including sending astronauts to the moon and back. To the moon and back. She was a trailblazer in African American women in STEM. STEM stands for science, technology, engineering, and math. She calculated the trajectories, that's that orbital mechanics, for Alan Shepard, remember, first man to orbit the Earth, and John Glenn. In fact, let me tell you something. When John Glenn was given the original trajectories, guess what he did? He ain't stupid, John Glenn. He wanted Katherine Johnson to recheck them, and if she said they were okay, then that was okay with John Glenn. He's an American hero, John Glenn, y'all. He said, I ain't trusting them trajectories until Katherine Johnson go over them. When she said she gave they good. He said, I'll go up in space now. You know? And again, she was portrayed by Taraji P. Henson, Katherine Johnson. And he was satisfied when he heard that. And as you say, the rest is history with the American space missions. Katherine Johnson. I got another sister. Her name is Bessie Blount Griffin, born November 4th, 1914, in Hickory, Chesapeake, Virginia. She died December 30th, 2009, 95 years old. She went to Newfield College in New Jersey. She was born in Newfield, New Jersey, Her education, Montclair University and Union College. Bessie Blount Griffin. She got her degree as a physical therapist. While working at the Bronx Hospital in New York, this is what the heavy she was, the 30-year-old sister invented an electric self-feeding apparatus for amputees. So they know how to do what? They can feed themselves and may not have no arms. And she took care of that. That's our sister. Heavy. Bessie Blount Griffin. Katherine Johnson. Heavy sisters. But now I'm going to turn it over to the men's. I ain't discriminate. I don't discriminate against nobody. I turn it over to the men's. And one of the first men's I'm going to turn to deal with, and little was said about this brother, but I would be remiss if I didn't mention him. Because why? Because remember, America's celebrating its 250th anniversary of independence from the British. But guess what? You ever heard of this black man? He's a black man named Crispus Attucks. Oh, yeah, Crispus Attucks. He's born in 1723 in Framingham, Massachusetts. He died March 5th, 1770. He was 47 years old, and he died in the Boston Massacre. He was the first person killed in the Boston Massacre on March 5th, 1770. And he was the first martyr of the American Revolution. He was the first one to die for America's freedom. Crispus Attucks, black man. March 5th, 1770. He became that. All right? He symbolized colonial resistance to British rule. He symbolized that. Crispus Attucks, black man. He was African and Native American. And he was African, and he was from the Wampanoag Indians up here. His death became a powerful symbol for the burgeoning American independence movement. There it is. He worked as a sailor, a stevedore. Stevedores go around, clean the cabins, do stuff like that. And he was a rope maker after he escaped slavery. Hell of a brother to come up here and fight for American freedom. Fought for American freedom when he came to Massachusetts. Brilliant brother. Next brother I want to talk about. I got a bunch of them. See, last week I talked about a sister named Dr. Mae Jemison as the first black female up in space. So it'd only be right to talk about the first black man up in space. So that was Dr. Mae Jemison. Now I'm going to talk about my brother, hell of a brother, Dr. Guillaume Bluford Jr. That's Dr. Guillaume Bluford Jr. He was born 1942 in Philadelphia. In education, he got his BS in aerospace engineering from Penn State. In 1964, he got a master's degree and a PhD in aerospace engineering. Good God Almighty. What's that, Brother Ram? That's being, when he go out into space, he know how to fix things. You see him do that spacewalk and they go out on that tether and they got to go out and fix stuff. He got his PhD in doing that. Black man. Dr. Guillaume Bluford Jr. Okay? And he got his aerospace engineering degree from the Air Force Institute of Technology. So he got his MS in 1974, and in 1978 he got his PhD. Our brother. He got an MBA from the University of Houston, Clear Lake, in 1987. His military training, he earned Air Force pilot wings in 1966. Later, he became T-38 instructor. That's a type of jet plane. He became an instructor. Hell of a dude, man. He was selected as an astronaut in 1978, and here's his main thing. And he became the first African American in space, August 30th, 1983. And shortly after that, Dr. Mae Jemison came along in 1983. She was right after him. So Dr. Guion Bluford Jr. and Dr. Mae Jemison. Don't forget them. That's your history. All right? I got one more here. This is my man. I like him. His name is Albert C. Richardson. He's born May 19th, 1880. He died February 2nd, 1964. He was the first person to create the patented casket lowering device. You see how the casket's lowered into the ground? Well, in the old days, it would tip, slip, fall off. But now they take it and lower it into the ground. It's still used to this very day. It was the casket lowering device, and it was patented in 1894. And the device consisted of a series of pulleys and ropes, which would ensure uniformity when being lowered into the ground. It's still used today by cemeteries. His first invention was really the butter churn. See, two different things, but he's an inventive mind. He did the casket lowering device, but that came after the butter churning. See, the butter churning device was in 1894. Excuse me. The casket lowering device came in 1894, but the butter churning machine was patented in 1891, 3 years earlier. And then guess what else he created? He created the insect destroyer. The insect destroyer. And what it's designed to do is designed to destroy insects on plants without harming the shoots or the foliage. Without harming the roots or the foliage. Our brother. What was his name? Albert C. Richardson. So when you see a funeral and you see a casket getting lowered into the ground, Albert C. Richardson. When you see them NASA astronauts are getting ready to go to the moon again, think of Katherine Johnson. When you see our veterans up in the hospital, all jammed up, being amputees, and they have to feed themselves, think of our sister Bessie Blount Griffin. This is our history, brothers. Be proud of it. Be proud of it. So, brothers and sisters, I'm going to wrap it up. I thank you so much for listening. It's through your support that gives me strength and motivation to keep moving and pushing on, because I got to get the message to our people, and our people got to understand. We must teach our own. We must teach our own. The need for Black history right now is greater than ever. The need for Black history is greater than ever, because we lack knowledge of self. And when you lack knowledge of self, as I said, without proper education, you're subject to manipulation. So again, thank you so much, brothers, for listening. May God bless you. May He keep you safe. And continue watching. Thank you so very much.